Hello, hello! Me again, this time with my junk journal or my travel journal about our London trip. So me and Alesh very rarely travel. The last time we went anywhere for a holiday was 12 years ago, so I actually scrapped the book when we went somewhere. This is just a paper chase notebook I bought over there, and I added things as we went and then finished it at home. So we went for 5 days in June. This is actually a cutout from a free magazine I got in London. This is just my notes. So before we went, I wrote down the measurements for our luggage, because it was our first time flying, and what we had for free, what we paid extra, so if I bought too much that I didn't exceed this. And in here what's clipped together is actually addresses for postcards we wrote, none of which have arrived in Slovenia yet, because apparently I threw them in the wrong side of those famous post boxes or whatever, and yeah, none of them arrived. So I did a little bit of journaling. I embellished all the corners with as you can see, washi tape I got there. And let's just start. So, proudly grown in Britain, I don't know, we just went for some coffee, and I saved the bag of sugar because why not? Anyway, here is the squirrel we met in Hyde Park on our first day when we went to look around. We were actually staying in Paddington, and yeah, let's see what's here. We were staying in Paddington, and this was really close by. And here we have just some Cockney rhyming slang. There you go. Dog and bone is a phone, donkey's ears are years. Well, anyway, this lives here, so I won't be reading this. For most of you who don't speak Slovene, this will all be gibberish, so yeah, probably not for everyone. And for those who can pause it, well, yeah, I wrote how Aleš bought me this in paper chase, because, well, he knows I'm obsessed with paper and snail mail stuff. So here is the pamphlet that we got at our hotel. It was a tiny hotel. It was Hyde Park Court Hotel. This is their business card, and I just wrote a little bit about where we went the second day. Here is one of the stamps. So where we bought our postcards, we bought the stamps as well, and then just posted them in the post boxes, mailboxes, mailboxes. And none of them arrived, but Aleš sent two from the post office that had stamps that weren't as cute, but they all arrived in 2 days. So none of mine came, but there you go. Okay, so I did add a few photos. That was when we got home. But yeah, so on Wednesday we went to Camden Market, and I wrote what we bought there, what we saw. Then we had, we went around town. We went and saw we went by the Big Ben and by the London Eye and so on. And then in the evening we were meeting Aleš's former co-worker in Hammersmith. So yeah, and as you probably know, there was a big fire in Granville Tower. This is a cutout from a free newspaper we got there. So when we came home on that first day we were there, all the news were reporting about this. And yeah, I just wanted to keep it because, while this was a holiday for me, some of the people were, you know, having the worst days of their lives, and I just you know, it's not all sunshine and roses, and I wanted to remember that, so there you go. But here are some pictures from Camden Market. Those are all fake oranges. They had waving queens, you know, with the queen wave. Alesh actually bought this one for his mother. This is me at Covent Garden, where they give you an actual backdrop, and here on the side where you can't see, but they have a poster with a hashtag, so if you take a picture there, you should post it on Instagram or wherever with that hashtag so they can find you. Here's Alesh and Camden Market eating some Chinese food. He claims it was the best Chinese food he ever ate. And he was really happy. He just never looks it in the photos. He always has this face, like he's slightly stoned or something. And he's the most straight edge guy ever, so he's never stoned. But yeah, he's not a very smiley person in photos. He hates taking photos. So the London Eye, here's Alesh at Covent Garden, just posing next to a Scottish man. Here we are at Trafalgar Square. We gave a little change to a Yoda. There were actually 2 Yodas floating about. And here he is in front of Westminster Abbey. I don't know, you probably can't see it because zooming in and out with this camera is a pain in the butt. But yeah, he's not looking happy there either. He was, I promise you. Okay, so I kept the map of the underground. This was our first time using the underground as well. See, we never ever go anywhere, but there you go. Here he is on Thursday. So our hotel had a really crappy breakfast, and it just wasn't worth it to get up for it. So we went exploring elsewhere, and Alesh, I honestly say, is never happier when he has some eggs and sausage for breakfast, so he was thrilled in London. We were having breakfast at La Tazza, and of course I had to take a picture because I don't have enough pictures of him. Anyway, then we went and bought some tickets for Latin for when we went home, and yeah. We had really wonderful weather. So the week prior to us coming to London, it was apparently very rainy and windy, but we had really big luck, and it was sunny all day, every day. Here is a tag. So all the women I know told me to go to Primark, and I actually went. And it was really big, so I didn't try anything on, but I did buy a few tidbits. Okay, so we went on Oxford Street. I really like the building of Selfridges, but was too intimidated to go inside because what if I break something and then I have to sell my liver to pay for it? Anyway, here are just some policemen having a coffee. I don't know, I just thought it was funny. And then you have a rickshaw at Mayfair. So we went through Mayfair because all of my romance novels are, you know, happening in Mayfair because all the flower ladies are marrying dukes and such. And I have to say, while the buildings are all super beautiful, it's really sterile. There's no one on the street. I mean, very few people compared to other places. Everything is so manicured, and it's like they're afraid to use it or something, otherwise it will get devalued or whatever. So yeah, not my favorite. Super beautiful, but I liked other parts of London better. So after the whole day of you know, walking around, we had coffee at Java U. I think we went there every evening. Yeah, and they give you a muffin, and it was a really good muffin with the coffee for £3 something. So yeah, we were happy. So then we started eating breakfast at Garfunkel, so that's a chain. But yeah, Alesh had the Garfunkel's breakfast, which is double everything, so here you have a picture of it. And I love how they give you subtle hints that you should tip them, like service not included and thank you if you give them something. Of course, we always did. When we were planning on going to London, we didn't make too many plans, but Alesh did Google what the tipping situation is there, so we wouldn't stiff anyone. And so we always tip generously. Okay, so here we are walking through Hyde Park. They had some riding lessons. It's as close as we get to a horse, so we took a picture. And here we have some Italian gardens. Then we just walked about. We went and saw the, what was it, the exhibit? You know, that guy that dresses like a little girl. Maybe it will come to me later, but yeah. And I love his tapestries, and I loved his journals. He has flip-throughs, video flip-throughs of his journals in there. The gallery is the Serpentine, so yeah, and those are really, really cool. Okay, so here we are in the metro. Alesh reading the map. He was in charge of navigating us, because honestly, if I tried it, we would have ended up in, I don't know, Cornwall or something, because not that the metro goes there, but you know, I suck. Me and maps do not go together. Here is the King Albert, the Prince Albert, I'm sorry, the Prince Albert statue, monument, yeah. And just recently, before we went there, I watched Young Victoria, you know, with Emily Blunt and Rupert Friend, and I loved it. It was a recommendation by Mitka, and I really, really loved it. So, yeah, well, we don't have Starbucks in Slovenia, so we went there, and yeah, I remember it from years and years ago in Austria, that their coffee was truly expensive, but it didn't seem that bad here. I don't know. Anyway, we went to Tiger because I really I watched a lot of Essie Button in my time, and she's a big Tiger fan, so we went there and bought a few little tidbits. Then we had hamburgers at Byron, and here we just have okay, so here we have the business card for Byron, where we had hamburgers. Here we have a £5 note that was left over. I love it. Can you see? I mean, euros have a tiny see-through place as well, but this is just awesome. And on their banknotes, I meant. And this is Blade rubber stamps. So I googled. I wanted to buy some craft supplies while there, and I'm sure they have awesome stores, probably in a shopping mall a little outside of the center of the town, but we didn't go there. So we went to Blade rubber stamps. I went to Paper Chase. I went to Tiger, and on the way home we went to Hima on the airport, but that's about it. So yeah, our hotel room, we were on a budget, obviously, so it was really, really tiny, but it was super cute, except the floor. The floor sucked big time. It was like walking on a swamp. It was like the wood rotted away, and then they just covered it with a thick wall-to-wall carpet. I don't know, it was weird. But we had a fan, we had a TV, we had a super cute tiny bathroom, sorry. And they also provide you with a little tiny shelf like this big, and you have 2 cups, a few bags of tea, some sugar, 1 spoon, and a little tiny electric kettle to warm up your water. So I just bought again on AC Button's recommendation, but I've had it in Slovenia as well, the tea pigs. So this one is licorice root and peppermint, something like that. And it really is the sweetest tea, so we had it every evening when we got home. And in the morning I just had one of those instant coffees that you pour from a bag with some warm water, so we weren't in a hurry to get up. I don't know, this is just from a magazine I got there. It's a free magazine, so I think it was a free magazine. Anyway, I just put it there because it was cute. One of their pamphlets. We didn't go on a river tour, but well, whatever. Okay, so here is Alesh at Byron's, looking not amused again. I swear, he looks like I torture him, but I don't. Here is me in front of the Blade rubber stamps, because of course, why would you take a photo in front of a big monument or something London is actually famous for when you can do it in front of a scrapbooking store? Yes. Okay, here is the inside. This is Alesh took the pictures, and yeah, I didn't actually buy any rubber stamps because they are hard to work with, at least for me. I know they last forever, but I love acrylic clear stamps. So here we went by a shop making sandwiches, and yeah, that man was also not amused. Okay, so we went through Soho, which was one of my favorite parts because it's super beautiful and buzzing with activity, yet not as bad as like Oxford Street during rush hour, because that was a little too much for a small city girl, woman, whatever. Anyway, yeah, let's just go on. So there I bought some custard filled fish, as you do, and they had the cutest sweets, and they weren't that expensive, so yeah. Here, this is at Piccadilly Circus, a gold woman, and Alesh. I don't know if you noticed, but here's Alesh. I wanted to capture them both, so it's not the sharpest photo, but I used it because he's there. Lots of people there, lots of tourists. This is just a shop window in Soho, so if I were buying any of these, I'd have the bunny. And then rush hour in Regent Street and Oxford Street. Well, that was a little too busy for me. I like it a little tiny bit calmer, so yeah, we were exhausted by the end of that day. Then on Saturday, I don't know why, because apparently it's better to go during the week, but we went on a Saturday and we went to Borough Market. But we were told it's best to go on Saturdays. Like in Ljubljana, you have the biggest farmers market on the Saturday. I don't know. Anyway, we went. We tried everything. We even took a selfie because I discovered I don't have any photos of us together from the past 5 years or something. Yeah, the picture is really overexposed and it looks like I have no eyebrows, but well, at least it's a memory, right? Okay, and yeah, here are just some spices they were selling. Here is the red velvet cupcake I bought. It was really delicious, and it was the first time I ate a red velvet cupcake. So we don't have them here. I don't know how come, but yeah. Okay, so then we went through the London Bridge, where the, you know, attacks happened just a little while ago before we were there, so there were still flowers and photos of those, you know, for the people that passed away there. And then we went to the financial district, and because it was Saturday, nothing was happening there, of course. So it was really boring, and we wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. And because we haven't ridden the double-decker bus, I wanted to go by bus. So here are just photos taken from the bus. You know, we were on the upper deck or whatever, and taking pictures of London as we passed by. Here, I think this is the Regent Park. That Saturday there was Taste of London, and yeah, but we were just sitting there watching the squirrels and watching people pass by. Yeah. Okay, so what else? On Sunday we were going back, and I didn't really sleep much because some of the hotel guests got really drunk and kept us up all night. Then in the middle of the night someone was really pissed off with them and just opened the door and shouted, "Shut up!" Oh, it was something. Okay, so we actually practiced because we were in a bit of a hurry. We had breakfast at Garfunkel's one last time. Then we had we actually practiced going to our station for the Stansted, and so we wouldn't, you know, be nervous on Sunday, trying not to be late for our plane. And of course they closed down that part of the railway, of the subway, because of the Granville Towers fire. They had to check if everything was okay on that part of, you know, subway. So we had to scamper to get to our train, but we had tickets bought in advance and so on. And here are just some random notes I took about London. I don't know, I don't travel anything at all, so everything is new to me. And yeah, so here are just some random photos. Alesh on the train to Luton. Here he is in a Camden Town in a lineup of mask, so next to Frankenstein's monster. This is the National Gallery. Here he is Alesh in Covent Garden. This is my typical London breakfast. This is what I was having almost every morning. So pancakes with maple syrup and bacon. This was the first time I actually ate bacon in my life, but it was okay. Then here is our hotel. It's this one, or here. This is just, I don't know. This was the first picture we actually took of when we went down from Paddington, just this neighborhood next to our hotel. Here is a bird's eye view of Camden Market, which also had a fire like a week after we went home, or a few weeks after we went home, which is really unfortunate. And here is my to-do list for next time. So this is my London trip journal. Actually looks better from the side. I don't know. I was thinking of maybe drawing a Big Ben like this here on the cover. We'll see. But it was fun putting this together, so all of these bits were already attached and everything was written as we went, and then just photos added later. Okay. Thank you for your patience on my rambling, and please don't be offended by anything I said. I usually don't know what I'm talking about, so thank you. Bye bye.